Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're happy that you're here tonight as we geek out about a lot that's going on, actually. What should people do, Katie, before we get into the show?
You should go to geekscorner.live and join the chat and say hello to our friendly buddy pals who welcome you in.
That is true.
Hello, buddy pals.
Hello, buddy pals. We are going to have a fantastic night that is culminated by the ranking of Muppet movies that were in theaters.
Yeah, theatrical releases a Muppet movie only. Stay tuned for Geeks Corner Plus.
Mm-hmm. That's where it's gonna be.
That's how we get you. That's how we get you.
We have our lists.
We do. Mine is in my phone.
Okay, that's fine. Some people do it the old way, and some people do it the digital way, and yeah, it's all good. All right, should we get right into this?
I suppose we should.
Before we do, if you've got any Disney trips you have planned in the future, or you'd like to plan one, we'd encourage you to use Mouseways Travel. There are good buddy pals that help us travel trips and make them work. Yeah, they help us travel the trips.
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't like that you saw my side. I don't like that you saw that.
I could see it two ways because I could see it peripherally and on the screen. Anyway, they help us plan our trips and they make it easy and they don't charge a thing. I don't know how that works, but I like it. But you can go to mouseways.com/dapsmagic and get your next Disney trip planned.
Clocky makes a very interesting point.
But it was not a theatrical release.
We
will talk about this.
I now have Geeks two Corner lineups. Plus. I now have two lineups.
We will see. I don't know.
I'm counting it.
I don't think we can.
I now have two lineups.
Okay.
I have two.
All right. Well, let's talk about the lineup that we know, and that is that Christmas and the holidays are coming to the Disneyland Resort, and starting on, I believe, November 11th, off the top of my head, not looking at notes. And we learned some things with the announcements today. One, we learned that, the time.
Yeah. You said it was at the 11th. Great
job.
I
was correct. We learned that Believe in Holiday Magic's coming back.
Believe, ...
We learned, perhaps even more importantly, that A Christmas Fantasy Parade is coming back daily. Which, I don't know. Like, there was question marks about that after last year it being in Merriest Nights. We learned that Sleeping Beauty Castle is going to be doing what it always does at Christmas. It's a Small World Holidays returning. Haunted Mansion Holiday will be continuing on as it always does. We learned that there's a dance party in Tomorrowland, which is not surprising.
No way!
Right. Yes, we learned all of those things. We also learned that Viva Navidad is coming back. A World of Colors, Season of Light is coming back. Festival of Holidays is coming back. So we can only presume that means Fat Cat Swinger will be returning. So let's hope for that. Mickey's Happy Holidays will be returning.
Yay!
Mirabelle will be meeting guests. Where she's meeting guests right now, I have a feeling. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. It was included in the announcements. She's going to be at Paradise Gardens, and she is at Paradise Gardens.
No, she's
at Paradise Gardens.
Oh, she went to Frontierland for like a month.
She's there too.
She's so good at traveling.
Yeah, she is.
That's really impressive.
In fact, we will have a video of Mirabelle at Paradise Gardens from Sunday, I believe, in the next day or week or something. I don't know, whenever I get to it. Cars Land will again be transformed for the holidays with Luigi's Joy to the World and Mater's Jingle Jamboree. And then there's stuff happening also in Downtown Disney.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I presume means the return of carolers and music and all of that fun stuff. What are you most looking forward to?
Christmas time is here. I just had to do that. I know that's the wrong park.
I was like, so you're looking forward to Knott's Berry Farm's Christmas? They haven't announced anything yet.
Yes, I just like to. That is like every time I hear anything about the holidays, that's the song that plays in my head.
In fact, I think before we get into this, I see a comment from Clocky that says he just posted his oldest Disneyland Christmas image in the community section of Daps Magic Patreon.
Okay.
So let's follow Clocky's lead.
Oh, no.
Find our earliest picture that we can find that we have taken. I know his probably is beyond that, but the oldest picture you can find of Disneyland that during the holidays. And we will put it on the Patreon. You and I.
I don't think I have anything like that.
It might be from 2 years ago then. Just find the oldest picture you can find.
Let me scour my Facebook
holidays.
from when I was 12.
There you go.
We'll see.
We will see. Anyway, what are you most excited about for holidays at Disney?
Mickey's Happy Holidays. That to me is like the knocked out of the park, like
Earworm.
incredible. It's just, I really hope they bring back the showstops this year.
I would love if they did that. I don't know that they will because I think more people can see it with the parade route.
Yeah.
But I would like.
But it's so good. Like, I think it's one of the best things that Disneyland Entertainment has done in the last like 10 years.
Over
For sure.
Over Viva Navidad. Yeah. Like, I don't think that's bad. I think they both have an energy that is very catchy.
I said it's one of. I didn't say it's the best.
No, I mean,
in the last 10 years.
For your best.
Personally, yes. Mickey's
yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Viva. I really like Viva. Don't get me wrong. I can really only handle 1 or 2 Vivas a year because it's very loud.
You know what I wish with Viva?
And I can only handle so much noise.
True. I wish it was easier to watch.
I agree. It's also such a limited viewing space.
Yeah, and you kind of have to be in a certain space in it to get to see everything. And I kind of wish it was in a straighter spot maybe, or I don't know exactly.
Well, it's like you have to sit on the front side of it.
Yeah.
And there's only like from the beer cart to like symphony swings.
I kind of wish there was a way they could get it down in front where they did
the Elena.
No, where they did Mulan.
Oh, the
Lunar
Lunar New Year
procession a few years ago, where it went down to that circle area in Paradise Park, and
that would.
But I think it's just too big,
and it's also a lot of parade floats.
But they could it'd be that whole park. It would fill up the park, and then you'd have layers.
But how would it go down?
Just the pathway.
Oh, okay.
Because remember they pushed all of that stuff from Lunar New Year procession down there. I think the floats are probably too big though.
Mickey and Minnie ride those bikes so fast.
The bikes would be the easy
part.
They
go zooming. They go zooming.
That would be the easy part. It'd be that big float in the middle.
It would be the
In fact, I think that'd be
paper mache.
I think they could make it too.
Santa and
like you'd have to have some creative, or they could go down the row behind them. Like I think those paths would hold those. I think it literally the big float's the only one.
That would be a way better spot for them.
I just think you would need to figure out a different float for the 3 Caballeros and Mickey and Minnie to walk up on.
Yeah.
And you could do that. Or no float at all.
Yeah.
Like have a stage thing in the middle of Paradise Park that they go up onto.
Well, and that would be a really fun opportunity for them to do like a pre-parade and a post-parade cavalcade. Where they do Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time up, and then they do their show, and they could do Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time back. Or what song would you want them to do for a
No, I would do the exact same stuff. Yeah, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time is fine. But it wouldn't be where the stage is. I'm actually talking about up in the middle where the water things used to shoot off in that big circle area.
Yeah. Okay. The same place that Lunar New Year was.
Yeah. That's where I would put it.
Yeah, that's what you guys talking about the same thing.
Yeah. And I think that would be a really cool thing to do with Viva Navidad and just make it easier to watch for more people, because that is the problem, is it's very limited.
I agree. I even remember waiting for Viva a couple years ago with some of our friends. And I remember just being so stressed about like the spot, and it's very tight. And I think that's also part of my not anxiety about watching it, but part of my hesitation is you're crammed in with a lot of people and it's very, very, very loud.
That's what makes it good.
I don't like loud things.
I know. No, it's a fun show. I do agree. Mickey's Happy Holidays is probably my favorite, at least in that park. Resort wide, I probably, if it was for the full show, I'd have to say Mickey's Happy Holidays, but I really like the toy soldiers in A Christmas Fantasy Parade. Those are always really cool. The thing I didn't notice on the list, and maybe I just missed it, is the drums.
Oh, the toy soldiers.
The toy soldier drummers in Disney California Adventure. Like I didn't see them in the list, which I felt like they were harder to catch last year just with the times that they had. So that'll be interesting. I would kind of guess they're still there because they're part of Mickey's Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
So, or they're just only doing Mickey's Happy Holidays this year. I don't know.
I will say though, and I'm sure you're going to transition to this, there's nothing about Merriest Nights, which I'm fine with. I am fine if there is no paid Christmas party. I am not fine if there's no Muppets. Like, say the Muppets caroling coach came to day guests, that would be incredible. Like, I would find that amazing. But they haven't said anything either way.
Nope, not a thing. I mean, I wish they did.
I'm
like
just-
that was the big
I'm
thing I
blue
noticed that
skying
wasn't
here.
on the list. Is like, I want Muppets. Like, and
That was the highlight of the last holiday season.
that's
for
what
me.
we paid for.
Well, that's the only reason we paid for Marius
Yeah,
Nights.
because Marius Nights was great, whatever, but it really was about the Muppets.
But
It's
I'm
like
saying that
Muppets,
that was even
Marius Nights.
above Mickey's Happy Holidays for me. Was Muppets caroling coach?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that was.
But that's not on the list.
I know it, but I want a blue sky and I want to talk about it because I'm upset that it's not on the list. As we're, I'm gonna say unpopular things tonight.
Uh-oh.
A Christmas Fantasy is my Main Street Electrical Parade. It's been going for 27 years and there's no sign of it stopping.
Let's hope it makes it to 30.
It's gonna.
I hope so.
At this rate, they're going to have a 30th anniversary
I hope so.
celebration. And what I would hope for that is I would hope they bring back.
Comments.
Okay. I would hope they would bring back some of the older floats, which I know is probably physically impossible because I'm sure they don't exist anymore.
Can't even imagine.
And have been repurposed into other things. I mean, definitely not. But anyway, I would really like to see say like Duffy. Like Duffy comes back.
Well, that's easy. He just replaces the bear on the front. Like,
but
I would actually like to see more new floats. Like, I think
I was thinking for 30th anniversary celebration to do.
Yeah, I would just keep changing it. Like, I think.
What would you put in?
New toy factory. Like that is a new toy
that
factory.
One's outdated. Yeah.
Which is funny because that's a newer float. There used to be the one with Pinocchio on the front.
It feels very mid 2000s to me.
Yeah. So I would put in a new float there. I would just reimagine. I agree with Clocky. Like reimagine some of the floats. Put new characters. They are going to have new costumes for some of the characters this year. I'm betting Mickey and Minnie are going to be caught up on the outfits that were unveiled last year for their meet and greet characters or something like that. Maybe something else. I don't know. But I think even like upgrade the Santa float.
I'm surprised they didn't already.
Like there's so many things you could do with it with technology now that I think would make it even more magical. And I just think there's so many different things they've done throughout the company that really brings magic to life that I would just throw some of those tricks of the trade at this parade and they don't really need to because it's already a popular parade. But can you imagine if you just went from like, hey, this is great to wow, this just blew my mind.
The clacky boots on the toy soldiers are
that
so amazing.
I think it'd be amazing if you got a bunch of people to just walk into the park on Christmas Day wearing those.
Those clacky shoes.
Yes. Yeah. And then with like little plastic fake trumpets. Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
I'm gonna combine a couple ideas here. So Chris is saying Marley and Marley's Bah Humbug Christmas Spectacular. Put that into ACF along with Bailey's idea of a Muppet Christmas Carol float. Just have a Marley and Marley float.
Or why can't they just be the pre-parade?
Yes.
Because honestly, then you can use Muppet music that's completely different than like it doesn't have to line up with the music of Christmas Fantasy because all of that
I'd
connects.
like to see them try.
I wouldn't.
You're doing my favorite bit. You're doing my favorite. Okay.
It's not a bit, but my point being is if you're going to put the Muppets in, they're going to have to be a part of a Christmas Fantasy.
Yeah.
I would actually rather see them do something like they did last year with the coach, maybe a different float.
As a pre-parade?
As a pre-parade where they're doing music from maybe Christmas Carol or, they've got a couple of albums out too they've done through the years and, pull some of their Christmas music they've done, maybe something new and kind of lean into what they did with Marius Nights.
I still want Miss Piggy to argue with Bill Rogers.
Oh yeah. I think you could. Well, that could be the announcement the parade's coming.
Exactly.
And she can say it's her parade.
Because that was one of my favorite.
And then she can go, who are you to tell me this isn't my parade? And he can
says,
go, I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disneyland. Yes, I think that would be very funny. Yeah, but there was no announcement of Marius Nights and there was no announcement about Muppets. So we will see what happens with that. I think you could also do there's different locations throughout the park where you could just put them in a window or something, kind of like they did at Magic Kingdom and see if you could create a Christmas show that way. Maybe even in town
Great
square.
moments in Christmas history.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I just imagined this, and now everyone has to hear it.
Kermit the Frog narrates Candlelight.
Yes! That's what I was picturing.
This needs to happen.
Was the Muppets telling the story of the birth of Jesus?
This needs to be a movie. I'm all for this. Nativity with...
And then Gonzo shoots out of a cannon for some reason. He's one of the wise men.
Or he could be a shepherd. Because I feel like a shepherd could shoot out of a cannon.
Who are the three wise men of the Muppets?
Three wise.
Who's bringing gold, frankincense,
I feel
and
like
myrrh?
Sam Eagle and... Wouldn't it be like Sam Eagle, Waldorf, and Statler or something? Like they could be kind of the... I don't know. They feel like they're somewhat wise. Or you could have Sam Eagle, Bobo the bear, who doesn't know what's going on, and then like Janice, just for pure. And so, of course, Sam Eagle would be taking it seriously. Bobo wouldn't be knowing what's going on, and Janice would want to keep the gold.
I brought gold for Shirley.
Yeah, like you can do a lot with that.
Oh my god!
I'm so sorry for all of your ears.
You are so welcome.
I'm
far away.
Okay.
I went like this.
Good.
To scream.
Yes. Yeah. Rizzo definitely could be a shepherd.
Do you want to know something I've realized? This is just a Muppets episode, guys. I'm so sorry. I have realized that, like, as I'm thinking, Uncle Deadly.
Yeah, Uncle Deadly would be good too.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you thinking?
Sweetums is the Three Wise Muppets. That's good. Swedish Chef. No. Something I've just realized in my day-to-day life is that kind of when I'm thinking or I'm doing something, I will kind of like like, you know, as like a tick of like a thinking thing. I realized a couple weeks ago that when I do that, I literally go
Oh, nice. I was like, where is this
and then
going?
I go, hello, welcome to my park.
Very good.
Tourists. What do they know?
They don't. That is so very true.
Anywho.
All right. Those are our Christmas ideas. None of them will happen. I highly doubt.
I love this Three Wise Muppets thing.
But Disney, you can have all of them if it makes them happen. We would be so happy.
If the Muppets narrate Candlelight.
I actually think we're gonna save this for Christmas when we get actually closer, and we're gonna put together what we think the perfect Christmas program from the Muppets should be. Yeah. All right. We got a trailer this week for Cars Road Trip. Cars on the Road.
Cars on the Road,
That's
which is normally where cars are.
Yes, Cars on the Road. They're going back on the road on a road trip to go to a wedding, and it's Lightning and Mater, and it's a series, which means a really long movie, basically.
Yeah.
And what did you think of this trailer in what we know about this so far?
I think it's super cute. I think it feels a lot like the adventures of Cars 2 and Cars 3. There's like these trucker cars who are like scary and they're covered in mud. And I'm like, that's very Cars 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Lightning and Mater going on an adventure and not knowing what they find together, which is very Cars 2. Also, Cars 2 is not as bad as everyone says it is.
I like it.
Stop being mean. It's not my dead last Pixar movie.
No,
everyone goes, oh, it's Cars 2, and then like.
Well, and I thought it had a lot of the personality and relationships of the first Cars, also.
Yeah.
I don't know that it'll be my favorite thing on Disney Plus this year, but it looks like it'll be a fun, like, oh, I'll just sit and watch this and work my way through it.
Yeah.
But
I will also never get over, and I say this every single time, every time I see the Cars universe, even though it was a movie first, every time I go, wow, they really nailed Radiator Springs at Cars Land. Because I think it's one of the best screen to park adaptations, period.
Well, for recreation, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I totally agree with that. And it does transport you into that story immediately. Mm-hmm. And I think it does what they hoped Galaxy's Edge would do. I
agree. And also what Pandora would do.
Pandora does it, I think, in some ways better than any of the other ones.
Different aspects.
Other than Cars Land.
Yeah.
Just because of the familiarity. And I think they hoped that Millennium Falcon, TIE Echelon, like those elements would be familiar enough to be like, oh, I'm in the middle of a Star Wars movie.
This is.
But it's also unfamiliar enough. And I hope, like, I think a great thing would be to have a movie or show that actually takes place on Batuu and brings the Black Spires to life. And
I agree. Like a Thrawn show or something.
sure,
That would
Or
also be an interesting way
Darth
to
Vader can go there.
incorporate Thrawn. Because
I
then
just
Darth
want-
Vader could be in Batu.
I just want Darth Vader on Batu. I think that would be amazing. Like I saw Kylo Ren, you were there with 4. I saw him actually multiple times on Sunday, but
was
with
there.
4 stormtroopers, and all I could think was like, oh, that would be even more terrifying with Darth Vader.
Oh, that'd be so scary.
Yeah. Just switch the banners. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same
you could
thing.
honestly
It's
probably
Empire.
switch the banners and have Empire days and First Order days. I don't know.
You walk into Batu and you go, oh man, it's a First Order day.
Basically, yeah.
That's a funny idea.
I think it'd be cool. We also got a trailer this week for Andor.
Speaking of Star Wars.
And we got the news that it'll be coming out 3.5, 4 weeks later.
Mhm.
Now on September 21st, if memory serves, we will be
believe.
getting 3 episodes instead of 2 now,
That's
since we have to
crazy.
wait longer. My only thought on that is if there's 3 episodes instead of 2, that's that much more content to be spoiled before I have time to watch it.
It's true.
So I'm a little bit worried about that. But we got information about that. What did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was great. Remember those like reports that came out of Rogue One that they had to do a bunch of reshoots because it was
Yes.
so like dark and gritty? I feel like this trailer encapsulated a lot of that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it feels like the dark and gritty Star Wars. I feel like it is like truly showing the oppressed lives of people that their lives have been destroyed by the Empire, basically, and they're going to fight back and how the rebellion starts. I think it's very interesting. And this is coming from someone who does not like Rogue One. Okay. So I know good things when I see it, just not Rogue One.
I think it's good. Also, I agree with you. I think one of the great things about this is it gets into the politics and it gets into the war of what's going on with the Galactic Empire and the rebellion. And it's not as much about Jedi and Sith, at least from what we're seeing so far. And to me, it would almost be a bigger win to not have, like, I think we're going to see Force users at some point in this, but there's a level of it where it's kind of like, I almost don't need that. I'd rather just see this like man on the street, man in the alleys, whatever this is, spy movie or show that doesn't necessarily get into where we've gone before and shows a completely different part of the galaxy. And
well, that was the most interesting part of Rogue One to me, was the use of the Force as a religion, not as Jedi and Sith. I am one with the Force is with me, is such an interesting part of Rogue One. And so I liked that incorporation of it. It is not your typical Star Wars.
But then at the end, they have Darth Vader destroying everything, which is awesome. And it's one of the best things. But
they also have weird, creepy CGI Leia. Don't forget that part.
Yeah, that too. But like, there's some very strong reliances on the Force for that movie. And I kind of would like them to avoid it completely and like literally just be a war series. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see the Force. I think we're going to see.
So I really want this dark, gritty war Star Wars movie. And then I want Star Wars MASH.
I'm okay with that.
That'd be fun, right?
So 3 years takes 11. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going through that in my head. I'm like, oh,
Star Wars MASH, like you have the very serious, like, this is the political war we're on. And then you just have Star Wars MASH.
Or maybe it just takes place with a bunch of the Empire in a part of the Death Star. And it's like, I don't know what, maybe they're actually like a MASH unit on the Death Star. Like it's their med base.
That's good.
Like you could totally do this.
I like that.
I do think Bailey's right. I think it's all about D23 Expo.
Yeah.
I think that's why we saw it released or getting released later. And
Bond Celebration wasn't even that long ago. Like they gave us the date, like, oh my gosh, was that like 2 months ago?
But I think that's the new Walt Disney Company. Like it's more nimble. It can switch things around quicker. Yeah. They can decide, hey, you know what? We can get this really cool actor, director, whatever to D23 Expo, build the hype up even more, get the news story, get people excited, maybe give them, I don't know, like a pin or something for those that go to that. Like, often
a
at those kind of
poster.
panels, you'll like we already got a poster at the last one, so
It's
maybe
still in my car. Sorry,
maybe
Bailey.
at this one we get a pin or a button, or I don't know, like
I'll still give that one to you too.
cool. And but yeah, I think it's an interesting choice, and I also wonder if it's maybe so there's not like crossover with She-Hulk.
Mayhaps, yeah.
Like I don't know, like it's an interesting.
Who's to say?
The other thing, and I think Clocky's got this too, is if it's after D23, that means everybody's, what was it, however many
The
year
3-year.
subscription is up. So people will be having to pay for it, and it's a good way to get them to continue
when
their.
does my D23 expire? Because I paid for it in July of 2019. Oh, that would be November of 2022.
What are you talking about?
Remember D23 Expo 2019 when I bought the 3-year subscription?
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
talking about.
$150? Yeah, but then I just had this moment of, oh God, that was in July.
Yeah, it's coming up.
When is that? No, that was last month. So I went, oh no, when does that expire? But then I remembered that Disney Plus launched on November 12th of 2019. So
Yeah.
I still have it until November.
A couple more months.
But I am hoping that there's another deal because I really liked paying $150 for 3 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a deal like that too.
That was great.
Yeah,
Loved
I think that would be a really good thing. And yeah, I like not having the monthly payments.
Same.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how and what they do with that as we move into the next month, because we are really close to D23, just a little bit over a month. Final story for tonight is last week I was able to go to Howard Johnson Hotel and Water Playground, I think officially. It's called in Anaheim, right across the street from Disneyland, which I'd never been to before.
Neither have I.
It's a very fun, old school, like retro feeling hotel. But then I got to go to the House of the Retro Future and see what that was like, and it was amazing.
Glad they dropped the Monsanto thing.
Yeah, they're probably a good call. But it's like stepping into a blast from the past, and we got to see the ribbon cutting, and then there was a presentation by Charles Phoenix. It was about 20 minutes, which you should watch, if for nothing else, one for his enthusiasm, but two for the photos.
Yeah,
like the photos were really cool, and then we got to go upstairs and see the House of the Retro Future itself, which looks awesome. It's got great like art pieces around the room. One's Shag, one's Sam Carter.
I was like,
could we do any better than that? No, you cannot. They have a model of the House of the Future that's on one of the shelves. They have retro furniture. They have the TV kind of making it look like it's an old school TV. They've got the windows making it look like you're in the windows of the House of the Future. But perhaps the best thing in this,
what is it?
They have a record player.
Well, boy, howdy.
With records. And
what records do they have?
A bunch of retro.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a collection of retro. No, they're modern retro stuff.
Oh, got it.
They're new records that are reminiscent of the past.
Okay.
And like I think there's a bunch of lounge, what is it called? If you look on Apple Music or Spotify and you look up like retro lounge or something music, it's all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
But you hear the record player playing when you walked into the room, and it's just like, this is awesome. Like it just made the moment. And then you're looking out over the pool, and it really does feel like old school.
That's fun.
Old school California, and that to me is in. And I was like, so guests can just play the records, and they're like, yep.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so that's cool. And you get a print of the Shag piece if you go. And I think it's $1,959 to stay there, and it's a 2-night stay.
Okay.
So every time you go, it's like you can't just do one night. It's a 2-night stay, and it's a whole experience thing. And definitely worth checking out.
Definitely.
And we've got a video of the room. We've got a video of the opening. We got a video of Charles Phoenix's presentation, and you should check it all out on our YouTube channel because.
Yeah. Just think Hojo's a really rad hotel.
Yeah. I was very impressed with everything there.
It's very close to Disneyland, like literally right across the street.
Yep.
You can see the Matterhorn from Hojo.
You can hear the train. You can hear
Honestly,
everything.
It's really awesome. And I think they do a really good thing that sometimes what the Good Neighbor hotels are missing is that it's literally just a place to sleep. And they just go, we're not going to rely on theming. It's just a place to sleep. And I think Hojo kind of captures their own sense of magic really well.
Well, they lean into their history and their origin, and I think that's really great. And but no, it was fun. Like I was sitting out on the around the pool with a couple of friends, and you could hear the train go by and the whistle, and you could hear monorail and all this fun stuff. And so definitely check it out. We also are now in Geeks Corner Plus.
Welcome. Everyone is being charged except for Bailey, who will not be charged until she gets her poster.
She's kidding, by the way. Anyway, with Geeks Corner Plus, we are going to tonight go through our list of Muppets movies that were released in theaters.
Okay.
And so what would be your number one, Katie?
Oh, we're gonna start at number one. No.
Oh, you want to start at the bottom?
Let's start at the bottom.
Okay.
I only have 6 because I have not seen 2 of these films.
Okay. I'm gonna hide this. So there's a list of all of them. And
so
what's your bottom one?
Well, this is gonna be awkward because ours aren't gonna match up.
Do you want me to go first? That's fine.
Do your bottom 2.
Okay, I'll do my bottom 2.
Come from 6.
Okay, my bottom one is Muppets from Space.
Okay.
My second bottom one, or second from the bottom, is Muppets Most Wanted.
Okay.
You can go to the next
my
one.
number 6 is Muppets Most Wanted. So my bottom.
So that's your bottom one.
Yes.
Okay. So my number 6 for that would be the Muppets.
Okay. Ours is already really similar. My number 5 is the Muppets 2011.
Okay, so you're one ahead of you,
Okay.
or one higher than me.
Yes, but that's because I'm also missing movies.
Okay. So my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Muppet Treasure Island, which might be controversial, but part of that's just when I grew up, I think.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Your
number 5.
My number 5 was the Muppets 2011. We already talked about that.
Oh, okay. Your number,
my number
4.
4 is The Great Muppet Caper.
My number 4, Muppets Take Manhattan.
Okay. So the 2 I have not seen are Muppets Take Manhattan and
Muppets from Space. Yeah. Okay.
So my number 3 is Muppet Treasure Island.
Okay. My number 3 is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. My number 2 is Muppet Christmas Carol.
And mine would be The Great Muppet Caper.
So then we both have the same number 1.
Well, I think the number 1. Well, Clocky has Muppets Take Manhattan is
really?
Is number 1.
Okay.
That one is classic. Like, honestly, it was hard for the top 5. Actually, all of them, I was like, I could interchange these super easy.
Isn't that one Verbo commercial? Doesn't it use a song from Muppets Take Manhattan? Yeah. Yep. That's every time I watch it, I have to stop. But yes, number 1 is the original Muppet movie. But if I was to throw Muppet Vision in here,
where would you put it?
Do you want to know where I would put it?
Where?
Do you want to guess where I would put it?
Are you going to put it number 1?
Yeah. I would put Muppet Vision at number 1. Like, easily.
Interesting.
Part of me feels really guilty about that because the Muppet movie has so much heart.
I think it would be number 4 for me.
What?
What's wrong with that?
I mean, nothing, but...
I mean, you have to take everything.
I know.
And Muppet Vision doesn't have as much as some. Like, it has epic stuff, but...
And obviously, this is only theatrical releases. So there is no Muppets Haunted Mansion. There is no... I can't think of another Muppet thing right now.
Wizard of Oz.
Sure. The Muppet Holiday...
With Brandy.
What's that called?
Oh, Letters from Santa?
Muppet's Letter from Santa.
Emmett Otter.
Yeah, so there's
like all that
no
stuff
Jug Band
doesn't
Christmas.
Count. Yeah.
But yes, so we were only counting theatrical releases, and that's why I had an alternate list for Muppet Vision 3D because it's technically not theatrical. Do you want to know something crazy that we learned today?
What did we learn today?
Muppets from Space had a budget of like 26 million.
24.
But it made 2 million less.
Yeah, 22.3.
So yeah, wow, you're good at numbers.
Sometimes.
But yes.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I have never seen it. I've also seen half of Muppets Take Manhattan. Not half. I've seen the first quarter of Muppets Take Manhattan. I am not the one who turned it off. Okay. So I wanted to watch it. I just wanted to put that out there.
There you go.
Muppets from Space, though, I've never had any interest.
So here's what we need you to do next is after the show is over, we would love if you put your rankings in the comments of the YouTube channel once it's processed, the video's posted. So then we can go back and see everybody's comments. Katie and I will do the same thing in the comments because I think that would be really cool. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's make sure we do that. And
look at me.
And then we can revisit
Here
it and
I
see where
am.
everybody goes.
Right
All right,
where
Katie,
I
we are running
belong.
out of time. What should people do?
Just go to DaftMagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and also find our Patreon and become an elite buddy pal.
That is correct. And look for our Christmas photos.
If we can
Old
find
Christmas photos, whatever we can find. No, it doesn't matter how old. It's whatever we find, we find.
Okay.
Yes. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos that we have going up. There's a fun one going up tomorrow, in fact, that I'm looking forward to. I am not going to give any clues as to what it is, but subscribe so you don't miss it. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.